Hey everyone, Jeff Risson coming at you live from the Super 8 in Houghton, Michigan. That's today's stop with the Daily DLP. It is January 3rd, Saturday. Hope you're waking up to a good day. I woke up in this hotel room and flipped on the TV, and the NFL Network happened to be showing the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions in Week 2. Man, what a way to start the weekend. Reliving that game in the wake of what's happening tomorrow with the season finale, a game that the Lions don't need to win, probably won't win based on the injury report, which I'll get to in a little bit. But it reminded me of how much positive energy and how great this team can be watching this team back in Week 2. Back in September. That was a glorious time, man. I'm looking at the stat. I'll pull the stats up here for you because this is one we probably want to remember. Let's do the share screen. This guy from the NFL Stat Services. Lions 52, Bears 21. Remember that? Remember how nice that was? Jahmyr Goff, 334 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Gibbs ran for 94. Monty, 57. Amon-Ra had a big game. J-Mo, also over 100 yards. Amon-Ra, 3 touchdowns, 115 yards. 2 takeaways from the defense. They got 4 sacks that day as well. Garbage time. Tyson Bagent came in. Campbell had a good game. Hutch had a couple sacks. Anzalone played well. Some of those names that are on there, Branch, Cunningham, forgot about him. Yeah. That was quite a way to start the Saturday, and it was a reminder of what could have been with this season. Because at that point, the Lions had come out flat in Week 1 in Green Bay. And we were all collectively very concerned. Like, oh crap. What if that's us? What if everything's going really bad? That Week 2 game sort of restored a whole lot of confidence. It restored the roar, to borrow back upon a Lions slogan of a different and failed time. Coming out of that, won the next 3 games. We're looking like we were the best team in the NFC. Atop many an NFL power poll. Then injuries happened. Defensive lapses happened. Offensive lapses happened. It was an interesting way to start the Saturday. With because there was so much promise with this team. And I think the Week 2 game against the Bears was like, yeah, Ben, we got you, buddy. Enjoy your little team over there. And now, you know what? Damn it, they won the division. They look good. Playing for the number 2 seed. They're probably going to get it. They get Green Bay next week, which will make for an interesting conversation in Lions Land. We'll have that conversation. So I don't know where to go on that, to be honest with you. But it was, I don't know. I'm conflicted on it. And that's sort of been a theme throughout this week with the Lions, in that I still believe this is a very good football team that's capable of doing great things in Januaries and Februaries to come. Absolutely. But they stumbled this year, and they stumbled badly. And going from the team that was in Week 2 that dominated a Bears team that is going to be the number 2 seed in the NFC, like, ran away from them. Got garbage time. To what the Lions are now, and the shell of the team that they are now, with Joseph gone, Branch gone, the Arnold gone, Laporta gone. Going to be missing Penei Sewell in this game. Like, really? This is our team now? Yeah, so let's get to that injury report, because that's another thing that I wanted to show today, and I'm not super thrilled about this one either, but pull it up. Let's add. Let's add it. Bear with me. It's been a long day, long week. Yeah. Here's our injury report for this week. Anzalone, out, concussion. We kind of knew that. I did try to go on Thursday. Didn't get through successfully. Cologne, who I don't think many of us wanted to see again, he's out. Then there's the big one, and this is the one that none of us wanted to see. Penei Sewell, out. Aleem, we sort of knew was going to be out with the abdominal injury. Harper, again, look, we're down 3 safeties now. He's probably our third best safety. Avonte Maddox, at least he'll play, but we're playing without Penei. I don't think it's going to go well, to be blunt. I'm not even, Giovanni Manu didn't get activated to be the tackle, so I'm going to assume, perhaps incorrectly, that Miles Frazier is going to start at one of the tackle spots. I don't know that. It could be Yode moving outside. I don't know. He's also banged up. Dan Skipper will be one of them. Hopefully Taylor Decker can play. We'll see. Taylor, if you want to tap out on this one, you're fine, dude. You've earned that credit. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't think most Lions fans are gonna say anything either. I don't know if Jared Goff's gonna finish this game, whether it's because they're getting blown out, because he gets annihilated behind a terrible line. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Kyle Allen play some in this game, meaningful minutes, just to see if he's worth keeping as a backup quarterback. Earlier in the week, I had talked about the fact that maybe I'd like to see them win this game and get a winning record and keep that positivity going, and then the Vikings beat the Packers and you're still last place team. You know what? I'm over that now, quite frankly. I am. I would rather get out healthy, not have anybody else get hurt on a long-term basis, whether it's Goff or Monty or Gibbs. I don't know. I hate the idea of tanking and playing out a meaningless game, but with the injury context with this team over the past few years, yeah, I'm good with that. I don't need anybody else. I don't need Amon-Ra getting hurt and missing time at all this offseason. And by the way, missing rest time, missing rehab time for his body. Every bump and bruise and sprain and strain that you have right now, it's going to take you that much more time to recover, which takes you that much more time to get ready and get your body right for the coming season. I want these guys in the weight room. I want them prepping. I want them doing, preventative measures to keep from tearing ACLs and hamstrings and things like that. And that doesn't happen when you're sore. So I have changed my opinion, which you're allowed to change your opinion, folks. I know that's sort of a taboo thing. You gotta plant your flag and defend it till the death. Well, that's not very smart when information changes or when context changes. Sometimes you gotta pick your flag up and acknowledge that you might have planted it in the wrong spot. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. It's okay. It really is. I'm removing my flag from the let's go win this game to let's get out of this, and I'm planting it on the let's get out of this without any further injuries hill and hope that our backups don't embarrass us. And maybe as a pleasant surprise, we learn that Miles Frazier can be a tackle. Maybe we learn that, I don't know, that Daniel Thomas can step up as a safety. Even some of the guys that we were looking at as injury-related backups who could maybe be a part of things, Giovanni Manu didn't get activated. He's out. They tried. He got some practices in. Wasn't there. It's disappointing because this is a golden opportunity for the Lions to play Giovanni Manu against a good defense. Bears, say what you will. They force turnovers very well. They pressure the quarterback very well. Good defense. Division-winning defense. Let's see how he handles that. Don't get that chance, which sucks. I'm hopeful, certainly not depending upon it, but I'm hopeful that he can be tackle 3 next year, but I'm certainly not basing my offseason plans on Giovanni Manu being OT3 next year. He hasn't proven that yet. Miles Frazier hasn't proven that yet. I'm very high on him. Gone over that many times. I'm not going into this offseason depending on him to start somewhere next year. Heck no. Whether it's free agency, draft, both, preferably. Who knows what Taylor Decker's going to do? Decker. That's appropriate. Taylor Decker. Take your time, dude. Think about what you want to do. Would love to have you back. But let the Lions know early in the process so they can weigh things, because offensive tackles don't come in free agency. They just don't. You got to draft that. And again, while I like Frazier and I do think that he's better at tackle than any other spot, I don't know that he's going to play tackle here next year. Starting caliber, certainly not. I don't know. But I'm not depending on that. I'm getting somebody else in here. If Decker goes, that probably has to be your first-round priority. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're locked into getting a tackle, whether it's Fomu or Mauigoa or who knows yet who's going to emerge in this draft class. A lot of guys still haven't declared. You got to keep that in mind. Just a quick draft aside. Trinidad Chambliss, who I don't think the Lions are going to have any interest in as a quarterback, but the Ole Miss guy, I know him I actually know him from Forest Hills Northern. Watched him play high school basketball against Zeeland East back in the day. Won a regional final over my Chicks. But he has applied for a medical red shirt. And that's different than, that indicates to me that he wants to keep playing football. He had medical red shirt year that he didn't get at Ferris State. He has applied for that retrospectively. Ferris State has to approve it, and then the NCAA has to approve it. That doesn't seem indicative of a guy who's ready to go to the draft on that. So there's your little draft minute with Riz. More of that coming once I get back to my home base and figure out who all is declared and not. But as to this Bears game, I don't really care. I'll be straight up. I'm not going to watch the game. I'm driving home. It's a 9-hour drive home from here. I want to get home in a decent hour. I'm going to leave here early tomorrow morning. I'll get home, and I'm going to take a different way, though. Normally, I drive down through the UP, across the Mackinac Bridge, cut back to the west side of the state. Tomorrow, I'm going down through Wisconsin, past Green Bay, past Milwaukee, and I'm going to go through Chicago, and I am going to listen to this game on the radio. I'm going to listen to the Chicago feed. So it's because I know a few of the guys that are involved in the production there. But I want to hear the opposing. I want to hear that enthusiasm. I want to feel that energy of being the up-and-coming team again. Because the Lions have been that team for the last 3 years, and they're not anymore. And I miss that, and I long for that. And I want to feel that again. And I'm hopeful that experiencing the Bears broadcast, as homerific as it is, and I'm aware, I know y'all, I know. Dan Miller, Lomas Brown, TJ Lang, y'all are the best. I'm gonna listen to the dark side for a little bit tomorrow, just to remember what it's like to be that team and all that energy, because that's got to come back for Detroit. And I want to hear them and feel them. And maybe I'll get ideas, I don't know, on how we can recapture that and restore the roar, to go back to that, for 2026 and beyond. If you're watching the game, pray for no injuries. Look, fantasy football's done. Don't have to worry about that. Try to watch it with open eyes as much as possible. Don't be ashamed if a guy that you really like doesn't play well. I've had to deal with that with Christian Mahogany for a few weeks now. He's not had a good season. Certainly not since he got hurt. Since he came back from getting hurt, he's not been good. If Miles Frazier's in there and you love him like I do, hopefully he plays great. But if he doesn't, don't sugarcoat it. Acknowledge it. One of the reasons why the Lions are where they are is because they sort of sugar-coated problems. We're good at pass rush. Well, yeah, when Al-Qadim Muhammad plays well, when Hutch is playing great, which is most of the time. AQM went 6 games without touching the quarterback. What did you have in reserve? Nothing. Depended on injured guys like Levi Onwuzurike and Josh Paschal to help fill that void. Nope. A lot of folks were very high on Mekhi Wingo as a draft pick. I was lukewarm. I understood it. He doesn't have an NFL position. He just doesn't. He's the wrong size. It sucks. You know, the Lions thought too highly of these things. And that's one of the reasons why the team is 8-8 going into the finale, where we all pretty much expect them to lose. Got to acknowledge the problems and deal with them instead of trying to sweep them under the rug or gloss over them. It's going to be a prevailing theme on the Detroit Lions podcast, and especially the daily, as we go forward. I hope you've liked and subscribed already. Hope you like the Lions. Leave comments if you want us to in the podcast Patreon Slack. If you want to direct a show or have a question about where it might go, there's a fair chance we'll do a mailbag at some point in the coming week. I do not do shows on game day, so I will come back at you on Monday.